they did not develop the need to flight. So they sat down. So the English came along and they said, that's a damn tasty bird. Killed them all. So now there are no more dodos.
Dodos decided not to fly themselves.
No, the evolutionary trait means that they did not need to fly.
When you say you're making evolution, look, this debate is not about evolution is right or wrong or anyone's mechanism.
No, yes, correct,
Every atheist that we speak to seems to come to this belief about evolution. It seems like atheism or humanism or any of these belief in the absence of God seems to be based on the belief in evolution for somehow here and there. Yeah. Look, if you really believe in evolution, that means if I am rich and powerful and I want to get rid of the people that I don't like, it's okay. Survival for the strongest and the fittest.
Unfortunately, in the case of evolutionism, that is correct.
Yeah, and this is what nature is all about then. So scientifically, which evolution is what you believe as a science thing, then that kind of morality is acceptable.
But this is where we have...
As you said, science can determine morals. So what we see in the natural world is that if you're rich and powerful and you can get rid of the whole population, it's calling for prayer, prayer times, right?
Sorry.
You can get rid of a whole population based on their ethnicity, based on their race or gender or color, right? Or their language, then it's okay.
This is a problem with sometimes.
It's not a problem, it's okay, right? Scientifically it's okay, you're saying.
Scientifically...
And morally okay too, because science is based on, can be explained... Morals can be explained by science.
It can be. So if you were to have absolute scientific facts, which is why most atheists will always take this line, I think...
About monotheism. Your position is that morality can be determined by science. So what we see in the natural world, yes, if you are strong and powerful, and you want to get rid of people who you don't like, for example, there are people who don't like people of something, like as I gave you some examples earlier on. That's absolutely fine according to the very standards of science. Yeah? Really?
Well, this is unfortunately sometimes you might not like the answer, but if you want to be honest, the answer is yes.
Yeah, but that really shows that this is not the right answer because we haven't found the right answer from these kind of things. Because human beings are not just animals.
Answers change.
They're more than what you consider to be animals.
As we develop, so I'm not very close.
Which animals have you seen building skyscrapers?
That's
flying in the space, going down the oceans in submarines. Which animals have you seen? So why are human beings different than every other animals?
By luck of the draw, unfortunately for us, isn't it?
Luck. So you think everything's by luck?
It's not by luck. It's by. I don't think I can understand it as fully as I want to, because my evolutionary is not my best subject. So forgive me if I'm not perfect. But what was originally believed, the reason why we could develop faster than everyone else was because we discovered fire. So fire enabled us to cook food. So therefore we didn't have to spend so much time chewing, so much like that. So we developed at a faster rate. But there are animals out there that are terrifyingly intelligent. That maybe if we were wiped out tomorrow, there's some random asteroid hit us, right? Would rise up.
Do you have cats in front of fire? Why don't they develop like we do?
Because we breed the cats.
No.
We have
the example you've given is human beings at one point discovered fire and then they started developing themselves. Now you can get a cat, the same cat in your example, and it sees fire. Why doesn't it develop skyscrapers?
Because it's developed from us. We have domesticated it. For
whatever you have domesticated, whatever breed of cat you've got, why isn't the cat making buildings?
Because a cat has been bred to be domesticated. So we have chosen them to be pets. We've chosen the ones that we think are friendly.
Okay, get a wild cat. Why doesn't the wild cat make a camera?
We could know. 10,000 years. In 10,000 years, we could
get a wild cat in the front of the fire.
What is the difference between human beings and animal?
So we have some advantageous traits over other animals. So our traits is mainly opposable thumbs, right? We have in return we have some differences. So how do we say this easily? It's so difficult for me because I don't usually do this part. So this is where.
That's why you shouldn't bring evolution in.
I didn't mean
evolution.
Biologically. I didn't mean biologically. I mean
philosophically.
Yeah,
right?
philosophically.
So
what is the difference between human beings and animals?
that's for a philosopher to decide, not me.
You know, you believe in logic and
Yes.
you believe in it.
Yes.
Do you mean that animals have?
We have to go and pray, right?
Are you okay?
Okay, we have to go and pray. As you can see, they're joined up already there, starting praying. This is our,
Sorry, that's
sunset, after sunset prayer. We're going to go. No offense, this was a discussion to provoke thinking. Of course.
This is what's most fun, isn't it?
Yeah. So we learn from each other, so that I can learn what you really believe as a humanist. It's not about demeaning someone or putting someone down. It's just an exchange of information where we learn and come to the conclusion about ourselves. Because the point we Muslims are trying to say is to use our intellect that we have to come to the right answers.
What I would say to you is that the conclusion to this is, as a person who can speak to each other, people who can speak to each other, when you speak to each other, your answers come out nicer. So we can have a discussion that can always end in a peaceful, amicable. When you have a different one, so as you saw before, you can't end in a peaceful resolution because
I didn't see that.
Yeah, but that's the whole point I was making to you earlier. So the arguments that you make me think, and when you think, you develop. And this is so. When the next time I see you, I will have researched it, and I can say to you now, I think I can have a position now, and then you can say to me your position, and we build from that. So in the future, when we have a society like we have now, which is what you all think, we can live happily. Well, I am happy to say to you, I can say, I lived in Malaysia, a Muslim country, for 3 years as an open atheist. I was treated as the nicest person you could ever imagine. So I have that inherent love for the fact that I can trust people like that. I have a very bad experience with the other side, so I naturally am quite hostile to them. But by building it this way, it's the easiest way to a peaceful society, isn't it? Rather than...
Take care, we will speak again. Yeah, take care.
Thank you.